Hello, it's Mr. Obi. So, now that you know how the brain works, the only question you've got to ask yourself is how bad do you want success? So how bad do you want success? People who want success develop better techniques. Have you ever thought that you were thick? You can't do some maths question perhaps, but your friend could. And you've said to yourself, oh well, they must have been born with the brains and I haven't got the brains. That is not true. They know better techniques and that's what's creating better results. If you knew the technique for solving quadratics, for example, then you'd be able to solve the quadratics as well. Lots of practice will make you better. When I'm giving this presentation, I ask people to sit at the desks, take some paper, fold the paper in half, draw a self-portrait on one half of the paper, just your head and your shoulders. Now, I don't know how good your picture was, but now we're going to use our resourcefulness and initiative to find better techniques to develop the skills and our talents. YouTube is a fantastic resource to find ways to improve your strategies. Watch this next YouTube clip and draw a self-portrait as you watch it on the other half of your paper. Compare the difference between your two portraits.
Alright, so in this video I will be showing the basics on how to draw a face and just some of the general proportions. So very first you start out with a circle, which hopefully shouldn't be too difficult. You can draw a circle, you can do anything. Then after you have your lovely circle, you get a line halfway through that and you bring it down past the circle. You want to bring it down probably about a little bit less than the diameter of the circle. I've seen some people do just like super long faces and it looks a little bit weird. After that, you create a bit of a jawline. You can have it just kind of curved and softer lines like this, or sometimes you can do it more angular if that is what the character calls for, but you know, it totally depends on who you're drawing and what they look like. So for this, we're just going to keep it kind of an oval egg shape. After that, you find about the midpoint of this vertical line, and from there you draw a horizontal line through the middle. Then, from your middle point to the chin, you try to divide it as best you can into thirds. And if this third is a little bit longer, that's fine, because I've heard some teachers say to draw it in the middle and others to draw it on the third line, so it's where the bottom of the nose goes, and that is something that varies greatly between faces. Some people have super long noses, some people have really short noses, so that is a highly variable one. But for generally, I don't know, about a third of the way down, half of the way down, somewhere between there. Now, we'll get more into the features of the face. Here we put in the eye. And for this video, I'm just doing kind of like the general shapes and stuff, and I'm not going into detail over anything. In other videos, I will show how to draw eyes and noses and mouths and everything. But for this, it's just general, very general proportions. So the width of the eye is the same as the distance between the eyes. And then the width of the second eye should be the same width as the first eye if you're doing this just completely frontal view of the face. Go ahead and add some irises. The top of the iris is usually covered more than the bottom. The bottom usually just kind of touches the eyelid. I'm not very squamous right now, but that's okay. Here we can add in the eyebrows. Generally, you can just kind of put these where they look natural. Eyebrows are something that vary greatly between people as well. Generally speaking, if you know the anatomy of the skull at all, you know that the orbit is about right here. And the eyebrows usually rest kind of right above on that brow bone, that ridge. Now we have the nose. The nose's width is about the same width as the distance between the eyes. And sometimes it feels like that's really wide, but really, once you get used to it, it's fairly accurate most of the time. Always depends on the face, but there's the nose. After that, you draw a line down from the middle of the eye to where the mouth is. And that's generally the width of the mouth. Sometimes I find that's kind of a bit wide, sometimes it could be too small. So it's your call for the face you're drawing, how wide it is. And the bottom of the lip rests on the line. Here we'll define a little bit more of the jawline, get it the way we want. Lots of times when you draw these guidelines, they'll either be much too wide, too thin, too long. You kind of just fit it to the face you've drawn. Now the ears are about as tall as the eyebrow and as long as the nose. And on older people, they'll be longer because ears are one of those things that don't stop growing. And then the neck, even though you can't see it because the jaw will cover part of it, the neck actually extends from the ear and curves in and out to then where the shoulders are and stuff. Now we can go in and kind of put more for sure lines where we want them. some hair. Hair is a super difficult thing. Or at least it was for me. I guess it still is. But you want to draw your hair kind of up off the head, because hair tends to be rather poofy. But those are the basic guidelines and rules. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful.
Don't ever tell yourself that you can't do something. Always tell yourself that you can do something once you learn the techniques. There are learnable components involved in drawing. Once you learn those components, then you become a much better drawer. So it's a fact. It's been well established now scientifically. You can learn new techniques to help with any area of your life. Maths, English, science, art, languages, whatever subject you study at school and beyond. You can even become better at handling your emotions. And social skills. Why do you think they call it social skills? Skills are something that you can improve on. Scientists say even happiness is a skill. If you go to your first party when you're 18, the chances are you're going to feel very uncomfortable and you won't mix with people and you won't enjoy yourself. Whereas if you'd been to parties with your parents from a small age, learning to talk to people, learning to develop your social skills, then when you go to a party when you're 18, you'll feel much more relaxed, you'll be talking to a lot more people, and you'll enjoy yourself more at the party. What if you're saying to yourself, I want to be successful, but I find it difficult to motivate myself to work hard? How much time do you think you've got to get your act together?
We're all given a certain amount of time to experience life, to carry out our dreams, our destiny. But we don't realize that the time bar of our life can only grow smaller from today going forward. Let that sink in. You can't buy time. You can't grow time. You can't ask for more time. You can only lose time. And after we lose time, we have no idea how much time we even have left. Our lifespan is a mystery. See, being human is a double-edged sword because although we have so much time compared to other species, we give ourselves too much time to accomplish what needs to be done. The idea of having so much more time to accomplish things makes us waste time. We abuse it. It feeds our lack of action. It makes us too comfortable. Now, we all aim to succeed, to prosper, to become a diamond in a world full of rocks, but there's no evolutionary pressure to help us, and that's where the mind shift needs to take place. You need to create a pressure for yourself to become that diamond, and the way that you do that is by understanding the value of time. Stop killing time, because eventually that turns around and time is going to kill you. You have the power to prevent time loss. You have the power to prevent wasted time. But you also have the power to kill time. And many of us are doing that. Before we make decisions, before we act, we need to think about how we're spending our time. We need to focus on what we want to accomplish. What makes the heart burn with passion? What wakes us up in the morning? What's your why? Time is the most valuable resource we have. I could save money for later. I can't do that with my time. I can invest in more money. I can't do that with time. I can share my money. I still can't do that with time. Stop damaging your lifespan. Sooner or later, you're going to realize that the only thing you wish you have more of is time. But it's what you use the worst. I want to see the transformation of how we use our time. I want to see habit change, the appreciation of the time that you're given, of your dream. I want you to pause the next time you find yourself wasting time on things that damage you and think about why you've decided to shrink your lifespan. You're actually killing yourself. It's not a joke because you can't recycle the time you waste. So use your time and make time work for you. Start living the life of your dreams because it's possible. Pressure builds diamonds, so put up that fight. Don't give in to fear. Don't give in to anxiety. Keep fighting. Keep moving forward. Keep believing. Your dream is yours, and don't let anybody else stop you. You've got 86,400 seconds. How you use them today is all that matters. And you've got to do it again and again and again to soon be living the life of your dreams. You will get there because it's your dream. But you've got to work today, so tomorrow you can be one step closer. Do it again and again and again. And I promise you will get there. You to gain the intelligence of spending time wisely, because while you're killing time, time is killing you.
So how much time do I have to get my act together, is what you're asking yourself. Well, in the growth mindset, to summarise, I want you to work hard, take ownership of your learning, use your resourcefulness and your initiative to find things out for yourself, learn better strategies to create bigger success, become gritty, remember the plasticity of the brain. You can increase your intelligence. Push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Don't fear mistakes, learn from them. And believe you can learn. Develop a growth mindset. I just want to say thanks to all the YouTube providers. I've used your videos. I've gave you credit in the description. Comment below about any parts of the presentation that you have questions about. There are many, many stories about people who are proof that the growth mindset is correct. I hope I've gave you something to think about. Thank you. Goodbye for now.